The dead won't let me sleep. The living won't let me die in peace. My heart filled with a yesterday that never happened. My hands filled with my face, my long breaths bleeding between my fingers. I killed myself once, but my lives are plural. That's why I can speak to the immoral like I'm immortal. The mind is fertile. Birth of verse with no epidural. The truth hurts. Speaking life into the dead as if it's normal. This is the lion-hearted, the fire starter, the sound and the fury. William Faulkner, The Color Purple, Alice Walker, Canterbury Tales, Geoffrey Chaucer. Every people are sent to prophet. Likewise, every people have been sent the imposter, and every people have been sent an author to tell their story.
Mood 1. When she speaks, listen. When she doesn't speak, listen to her unspoken words. When she cries, comfort her. When she raises her voice, speak softly. When she loves you, do not take her for granted. When she gives you her heart, keep it safe. When she gives you her body, cherish it. Fail to do this, then you will find out firsthand that hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. No fury.
Just a few more minutes and it'll be done. Don't make too many loud noises. Get from out that door out there and shut that door behind. The likes of some people come through that door, you think they've been raised by a family that people didn't know no better. You hungry, baby? Where are my manners? My friends call me Miss Lucy. Don't go bending over backwards trying to be polite. I know you don't want to be here, and quite frankly, I don't want you here either. So you don't have to pretend. I know you'd much rather be with him, but sometimes just gotta spend a little time with Miss Lucy. Now, sit yourself down and quit bugging your eyes out like that before I fix them to stay that way. I am making a pie that is simply to die for. You must try a slice once it's finished. The recipe's about as old as time itself. Nobody comes to Miss Lucy and not have a slice of my world-famous pie. The secret ingredient is, come close. I already know you want a slice. I could tell by the way you're looking at me and my home, you were expecting something else. I get it all the time. Honestly, baby, you ain't done nothing wrong. You're safe here. Safer here than anywhere else. Hell, if the truth got out about me and my home, well, no one would ever allow me a moment's peace. That's all I want. Peace. Now, I can tell you how all this happened, but you're gonna have to listen and listen carefully, because I only get to tell you once, and after that, well, you'll be off and gone forever. So, well, first, let me tell you about him and this gift of God. What? What man you don't know think he God all hours of the day, every day? It's been that way since we were knee-high to grass. Always wanted to show me something. Whether it was a little bug, a fish, or hell, even a piece of grass. He always wanted to show me something. Well, one day he wanted to show me something, told me to close my eyes. And well, listen, I was a little girl and he was a little boy. And little boys are just fascinated with the miracle of themselves. So I said, okay, and when you get to 3, you're gonna have to show me. So I closed my eyes and he counted. The time he got to 3, honey, he had whipped his penis out like it was the best thing in the world. Miss Lucy thought it was adorable at first, running around terrorizing me from here to high heaven, but soon we became closer than peas in a pod. Ooh, and when his power grew, Miss Lucy got wrapped up in it, honey, and thought he was it. Simply sizzling, almost too sinful. Don't touch me. What? You are so annoying. Ain't nobody want you to whip it out so you can show me you. That is the worst pickup line ever. You're nasty. Oh, you want to show me something? Oh, you trying to show me something for real? Okay. You did all this? A flower? It's beautiful. You said you made all this in 4 days, silly goof? Well, I never thought I'd see something so inspired and beautiful. I'm your moon. That means you're my star. See, he meant the world to me. He did more wonderful things in the week to come, and see, while he and I were together, well, that meant I got a little bit of the harvest. If you know what I mean. Now, when the conversation turned to children, that was truly something we were going to have to do together. The two of us becoming one again and again. Well, his power meant that they would never have to go without. So I thought. Soon, instead of feeding, clothing, and satisfying everything, he wanted to see how much they could go without. A mother should never have to see her children suffer. Their longing stuck in my side, sickening me, and any mother should never have to watch their children suffer in such a way. You gave me no choice. You left them here. Of course I gave them what they wanted. I'm their mother. Hell, they're neglected. It's like they don't even have a father. You experimented with their lives. Oh, it's not experimenting when you do. Jeez, exactly. Well, what do you mean exactly? Oh, now hold on now, no sir. Now you're already hurt Adam. He has to raise a family in the wilderness. Well, Eve, she's strong. Like her mother, I wasn't worried about her at all. But Jesus, he's a precious boy. He don't need to be down there now that you've turned paradise into a living nightmare. He'll die down there. There has to be another way. Surely in all your omnipotence, you can change this. Show me something. Show me that it's not a mistake. Show me that you're truly all-powerful. Take it back. Creation, the flood, the beauty, the death, take it all back. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry that I ever thought that you could care more about us than you do your inflated ego. I can leave. Like hell, I can leave. I ain't going nowhere. I'm banished? What do you mean I'm banished? Why? Why? Because you want to see me here. I showed you what it means to burn. I see you. Even from down here, he decided he needed to fix our children. Soon, I was replaced with a new girl, a new solution. She's beneath me, and he chooses her, a mortal, to have his only begotten son. My children are loyal, and when you hurt their mother, they will fight back. I didn't force them to crucify your son. That was you. You and your need to make them pay for something I did out of love. When they drove those nails through his wrists and feet, watching him bleed, ignoring his pleas, he was crying for me. She's sitting there weeping and wailing over your precious Savior. I hope that their pain was your pain, and your pain brought you to your knees. But no matter how great it was, it pales in comparison to how you left and discarded me here. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I learned that from you. I have been here far too long, and the rumors of my actions have been greatly exaggerated. I don't chastise you. I welcome you. He leaves and discards you here like dirty little secrets he's casting away. Some call me a lion roaming to and fro, seeking whom I may devour. Oh, but I know exactly what I want. So a lioness, this serpent, or however you else you want to demonize me, is only here to make you stronger. So God, Jesus, whoever the hell else thinks they're running this universe, oh, I was still down here. You can deny my love and discard me here, oh, but know that I am one resilient lady. This is my home, and you are my children. Did you want some pie?
Mood 2, Mount Bueller.
Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring when it happens. When we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty.
The stories told by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during his 1963 speech, I Have a Dream, were mesmerizing. I can remember standing on the Washington State lawn in the hot sun, just looking at the king And above his shoulder, Abe Lincoln, the emancipator. Dr. King would tell us stories of the trials and the tribulations of the civil rights movement in the South. The arrests, the beatings, the bombings, the children of Birmingham who came forward in such large numbers that they couldn't get nobody else in the jail cells. He told of the bravery of the civil rights worker. And then he issued a call for support. And at that moment, I knew that I wanted to be a freedom rider. Now, in the Mississippi Delta, where I spent most of my 4 years, we would take carloads of sharecroppers and farmers up to the courthouse to register them to vote. We'd take busloads of black children to all white schools to desegregate them. We'd take teenagers and college students to the 5 and 10 where we staged sit-ins. Oh, and my favorite, we would take all black worshipers to all white Sunday services on Sunday morning to pray. We made those white folks so mad. Turned their whole world upside down. So much so that they were willing to kill for it. And they did. That's why it was very necessary that when we were out on the Delta, we had a long list of rules. Now, the most important rule was don't ride black folk with white folk in the same car. Dead giveaway that you're freedom riders. And especially, don't be a black man driving behind the wheel with a white woman sitting right next to you. Now, if a white woman had to just ride with you, she better ride in the back, like driving Miss Daisy. So that's why I found it very peculiar when Roberta, a white female freedom rider, came limping on around the corner to ask me, "Could you take me to Thomas Mueller?" Hell no! Or at least that's what I thought in my head when she first asked me. But when I replied, now, Roberta, you know that's a 2-hour ride. That's way too dangerous. I know that you got to be crazy. You're going to have to ask somebody else. Oh, please, I miss my ride. I have people waiting for me there. Oh, please try to move around. We won't get caught, please. Now, Mount Bueller was an important weekend retreat for all of us freedom riders. We looked forward to the safe haven of Mount Bueller. So that's why often I find myself asking, why did I let her talk me into this? Now, maybe it was because she was a white woman with polio and couldn't hardly take care of herself. Or maybe, just maybe it was the way that she begged and she pleaded. Or maybe it was because I knew that she had people waiting on her. Or better yet, maybe it was because she didn't want to insult me and the color of my skin by refusing to sit in the back seat. Either way, she was a strange woman. So much so that she saw me as a person who deserved respect as an equal. I mean, she left her home in Chicago and came all the way down here just to support the civil rights movement. So, surely, if she could take a chance on us, surely I could take a chance on her. So I said, Come on, Roberta. You can sit in the front seat. And then we're off to Mount Bueller. So, we're driving down Highway 51. The traffic is a little dense, and it's beginning to get a little dark. So I'm thinking to myself, it's the weekend. Traffic should be a little dense, right? But as we're driving along, the traffic is getting a little bit heavier. So I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, everybody must be going to Mount Bueller, right? And then I see it. Oh God. The flashing lights of the Mississippi Highway Patrol. It's a roadblock. And we're stuck. And there's nowhere to turn. I seen them waving people through. And then they get to me. A black man. Behind the wheel. And Roberta sitting right next to me.
You look mighty lost here, boy.
We're just trying to get her to her family because she... Well, I was just trying to tell you that...
Shut the hell up. Hey, boys. It looks like we got ourselves some people who want to make some changes around here. Well, look here, boy. I am the law. And right now, I need you both to get out the car.
They pulled me over. They took me out of the car. And then they surrounded me with billy club in hand and fire in their eyes. They wanted to teach me a lesson that I soon would not forget. And then one charged me. And then another. And then all of them. No. Wait, you don't have to. You don't have to. For what seemed like 15 to 20 minutes felt like 15 to 20 days. within every inch of my life. I knew I was going to jail when the officer told me to walk at gunpoint. And they were as evil as you can imagine. And if they wanted to, they can make you walk to the jailhouse in order not to get blood in their car. So as we were walking, the officer told me to go behind the jail cell, behind the jailhouse. And then I realized that we were going behind it and into the woods. When I got to the edge, I slowed down.
Keep moving.
The traffic lights faded until they were no more.
Stop.
I could feel the gun barrel against the back of my head.
Ain't gonna say yes, say this, boy.
My heart exploded. My heart in the back of my throat. I could feel the blood dripping from the back of my head.
Get up. I said, get your ass up, boy.
When I got to the jailhouse, I saw Roberta. And when she seen me, she immediately broke out into tears. Because I know she felt guilty. But she didn't do this. When I got to my cell, a few of the chapter leaders were there. And they prayed for me. They were able to get me some water. But the whole time, I thought to myself, why? Why didn't they shoot me? Was it because they thought I would have said yes, sir, if I wasn't so wrapped up in fear? So, I'm in this jailhouse, looking in the mirror at this swollen, disfigured face. And I don't know why they didn't kill me. But damn it, they should have. Because now, I'm committed. Because now, I'm sure that for the rest of my life, I will continue to fight racism and injustice. And until the day that I die, I will be a freedom rider.
Mood 3. A well-regulated militia being necessary for security of a free state, The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Agree with a gun.
At the entrance of a Chicago high school, an officer with a gun perched on his waist asked me if I had any weapons. I hold up my book. He doesn't find that funny. I wait for two students to walk in front of me. Already I wonder, what have they learned? Have you tried to force-feed yourself knowledge to escape the bulimia of an American education? Uncle Sam starts churning in our stomachs. Naturally, the body will expel its toxic port system. We teach that the only way to achieve the American dream is to be more right, be less poor, be more pilgrim, and to be less immigrant. But the American dream, it's made of quicksand. The harder you fight, the further you are buried, sinking below a prison complex that uses fourth grade reading scores to determine the number of cells needed in the prisons 10 years later. Between convicts in the prisons and victims of the system, something is missing. The commissioner is using people as commission. See, capitalism is like a fisherman. Keep you coming back to the lake, keep at least a quarter of the population hungry, but we say no child left behind because it's a slogan for the slick who co-opt the principle older than the parents. Then drag them onto t-shirts and sell your grandmother's dedication back to you for $14.99. Stand on political platforms and speak that shit into megaphones to try to convince you that you haven't heard it before. But like diligent students, we open our mouths in unison waiting to be spoon-fed our education. Never asking questions is a part of the main course. On the television, some senator preaches that throwing money at an urban school is like feeding caviar to a dog. They just won't know how to appreciate it. Improving a school by picking its pockets is like tuning a guitar by ripping off the strings, like learning to sing with the conductor's fist down your throat, teaching in a school with more barricades and books, building a wall when we are all bricklayers for the same idea. We must make dream catchers of our hands, weaving our fingers together like baskets of prayers. So I'm escorted to an auditorium where there are 130 Black and Latino students. We talk about hip hop because they think poetry is what old white people do. I tell them my favorite song is Miss Fat Booty and they giggle as if they're still kids. And I can sing all your amendments, can name all 50 states, can name all your capital cities, can draw your flag with my left and my right hand, but I am still starving for a taste of my country's history. And I know I wasn't lucky enough to be one of the winners of this game. Why are the winners of a rigged game writing the rules while my auntie is wishing for white picket flesh while living with Section 8 bones on the wasteland of the free home of the brave? Hand over your heart like a smallpox blanket, but no child left behind even when the culture is sick. We don't do it. It had been 18 long years of textbooks filled with everything but me. And for the first time, my body knew a world that could hold it. The quickest way to silence a mouth is to treat it as if none had come before it. Just like Chris discovered America, just like Sarah Bartman was the butt of all your jokes, just like Africa is a white savior's paradise. The only example of our ancestry are in textbooks that tell us everything our ancestors are is what not to be. But since when does being a teacher mean having to swear not to help? Since when does being a teacher mean having your hands tied behind your back as the schoolhouse burns to the ground? We are leading these children along a track built in circles as their lungs fill with smoke, telling them that it's their fault. They can't find a way out. My students are either having an immigrant experience or experiencing immigration take their parents. People are more concerned about my students being documented than they are about them being human. There are thousands of unreported lynchings that happen in American classrooms each year. The victims are between the ages of 5 and 19. They are Black and brown, gay and poor, different and other, not enough and too much, round pegs and square classrooms, children suffering for them not being what we want them to be. For having voices too loud, accents too thick, pockets too thin, for classrooms to honor us just as we are.
Mood 4. I saw in Louisiana, alive in the people buried in the swamps. Some like the moss hung down from the branches without any shelter from the gators and catfish. It looks rude, as if it swallows you whole for looking. Made me think of Sunday boils and tables with hot sauce and lemonade, a holy ritual that you can only come to if you're invited. At the end of the day, everyone is. Yet, it reminds me of a question unanswered. Where are the crows that pluck, the rain that gathers and baptizes, the wind hungry will suck? No, not this way. He mustn't suffer. I know very well I could not. Bayou Lafouche.
Born in Bethlehem, children go where I send thee. Tell me how shall I send thee? I'm gonna send it one by one. One was the itty bitty baby born by the Virgin. Mary born in Bethlehem. Children go where I send thee. Tell me how shall I send thee? Now, you'll have to forgive me. And them binds on your wrist is so you don't run off and get lost. See, you boys ain't from around here. Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Rowland. Oh, I can smell it on you, and that ain't musk. See, a woman can't smell manhood on you when all you covered in is chemical. See, take one in with me. A big old Louisiana fella. And that is sex, baby. Ah, y'all stiff. Well, I understand. If my lily white ass was tied up and drugged to some strange place, oh, I'd be a little reserved too. And let me assure you, my only fool is a strange one. It's very secluded. The gators don't even come around here. Now, don't blow your wig. I am not gonna rob you. Well, not your money anyway. Boo! Now, shh. You them fellas that murdered them two girls down in Timberlane. See, I thought I was gonna have a hard time finding you boys. Lord knows the coppers sure had. Yeah. And I ain't never done two at one time before. And Chubby right there, well, he probably counts two himself. Ain't that right? Y'all better shut up. Now, Mr. Kennedy, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get down on your knees. Do it now. Because see, we ain't got all day. Come on. I got you. Let's go. Woo! You sure is a big fella. Man, what you been eating? Whole chickens? I bet you open up your jaw and it's just cluck, cluck, cluck. Now listen, it ain't gonna be no hollering either. Ain't no use. See, cause we out here now, and the only ones that can hear you are me and Lames, the souls. Oh yeah, they all throughout this body. See, cause many folks that look like y'all
have killed many black folks right here in the fruit. Yeah. See, many of them are actually staring right back at us right now. Taken before their time. Well, I balance the scales. Yeah. See, it was one soul a month. That's how all this started, anyhow. It was never my intention to be out here this long. See, I've been searching for Virginia for 3 years. And good news, I found her. Yeah. See, cause this is where it happened. Yeah. Virginia's soul is out here. It's out here somewhere. Y'all think I'm crazy. On the contrary, see, voodoo has been with my kin for generations. I've been seeing spirits since I was about this high. Yeah. And the men that killed Virginia, they were the first souls that I ever took from anything. The papers, they try to say that I'm some loony, going around killing criminals. Headline, Levez-le décor. The tale of the body snatcher. And that's a lie. I ain't never killed anyone. They're very much alive. See, because voodoo is very particular that way. Vous n'avez pas besoin de secours. You don't really need this body. Toi es de moi. C'est un méchant. C'est un méchant. C'est un méchant. Virginia, you just gotta grab my hand, baby. Virginia. Virginia? Baby, is that you? Babe? Just go on and get. I said go on and get before I change my mind. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to be out here forever. And I'm tired. I've been tired. But it happened here. They tied me up after they kicked down our door and drug us to this pit. And they made me watch things that a husband should never see. She begged and pleaded, and she fought like hell. They they hung her right there. And they set her on fire. And I watched as the life drained out of her body into this bayou. So I don't understand. I feel like I freed everybody but her. She gonna come, though. She gonna come. But don't look at me that way. Because this world needs justice. It needs balance. It needs someone to judge the guilty. And you are too guilty. Virginia, why won't you come back? Virginia, baby, I need you. I feel like you're hiding from me. Are you afraid to face the man that I've become? Well, Mr. Rowe, I'm gonna need you to get down on your knees. You'll have to forgive me.
Mood 5, Gem of the Ocean.
I know about water. The water has its secrets, the way the land has its secrets. There's some that know about the land, and some that know about the water, but there's some that know about the land and the water. They got both sides of it. That really doesn't matter. You see that over there? That's a city. It's only a half mile. That's a city. It's made of bones. Pearly white bones. All of the buildings and everything made bones. I seen it. I've been there, sisters. My mother lived there. I got a aunt and 3 uncles down in that city in the bones. You wanna go there, Mr. Citizen? I can take you there if you wanna go. That is the center of the world. In time, it will all come to light. The people make a kingdom out of nothing. About water.
If I didn't know any better, I would suspect you were afraid of me. You see, the thing we have in common is the rumors of my violence have been grossly exaggerated. My beloved black child, hear these words loud and clear, for I am Yemaya, goddess of the ocean. I speak to you today with a heavy heart full of grief. You see, I came all the way from the city of bones just to see you. I've watched you, my children, with great admiration and pain for your strength and resilience throughout the ages. From the darkest days of slavery, the vicious days of Reconstruction, the tempest days of Jim Crow,
the frigid days of drugs and war, and to the sacred skin that you are in and being told that it does not matter. You've endured with much grace and determination. You've received scraps and you've created masterful creations. Yams, greens, mac and cheese, ham hocks. I bet you wish you were eating some of that right now. You've turned the humble land fertile with potential and built nations with thriving economies. You've built a land so rich and so beautiful that the vast existence of any land that's lucky enough to occupy you becomes richer. I've seen the way they repay your knowledge. I've seen the way they dishonor your holy. I've heard too much pain and no repentance. My waters are uneasy with grief. Now, I cannot blame your oppressors with the full length of my wrath, for you see, you have forgotten who you are. You have been brainwashed into suffering and conditioned for so long to thinking that water is your enemy, you don't even realize that water is your source of power. Something beautiful happens when black bodies enter the water. Baptism is a source of rebirth for children of Yahweh. You spent 9 months in your mother's womb swimming around in amniotic fluid, and you let these colonizers tell you you can't swim. You let them convince you to get chemical poison in your hair to straighten it to conform to their idea of beauty, and you let them dare you to get your hair wet for fear that you will reveal your true God-given natural beauty. There is a reason for your kinky and curly shrinkage. Your textures are so rare and so defined that the glory of your scalp is the blueprint of the cosmos. The majesty of your crown is the very essence of life. God already gave you a crown, queen. Wear it. In the days of your ancestors' captivity, you were torn from your homeland and separated from the very waters and soil that nurtured your spirits. The chains of oppression and the lash of injustice weighed heavily upon you. But through it all, you held on to your faith no matter how broken. Your culture, no matter how hard it was to hold your head up high, your indomitable spirit, no matter how bruised. You came up through the depths of oppression and you are still standing strong. Let me tell you, something amazing happens when we get together. We become like the water. You know the Alabama brawl? That was not an accident. When the tidal waves of injustice tried to wash him away from shore, we saw a hurricane of nuck if you buck wash up, right? You see, Mamie Till cried tears that filled lakes, rivers, and oceans so wide that it brought in the ships of injustice and liberation. When we hear wade in the water, our bones still know the secret to freedom that's kept quiet in the corners of our soul to protect it. It's what helps us learn the freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and the butterfly. Yeah, I know y'all made that one into a whole dance move. What I'm trying to tell you is that we are stronger together. The separation of black bodies have made us tiny teardrops on an indestructible monument. Only together are we an insurmountable wave. Can you imagine what would happen if we all decided we were sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you forgotten the strength that unity can bring? The power that comes from supporting one another? For so long, you have borne the burden of systemic injustice that still lingers. The sour of strange fruit, the barring of tomorrow's sunshine for gray skies, the need to keep your head above water when our bodies become too dense. We used to be a people of pride. We used to want to build to leave something behind. But now you all are so self-centered because you feel like you haven't gotten your fair share. And it's a shame. You won't even buy enough life insurance to leave a legacy for your family. In the middle of the Atlantic, there's a city made of bones. Bones of ancestors that didn't make it across. These pearly remains of history's ugly can never be erased. These bones are sacred, clean, pure. But now Now my waters are becoming even more polluted than before. Racism, oppression, xenophobia, genocide, all once held a strong front. The taste of the waste are making my waters bitter. What happened to you all? You used to stand for something more. What happened? You once had giants that the world couldn't comprehend. What happened? But fear not, for I, Umaya, offer you a chance to regain your unity and your power. What's that? No. I cannot take you back to the surface and restore the life you once had, but I will ask you to join me and help me educate your descendants. We must implore them to remember the leaders and visionaries that fought for their rights, for the freedoms that should be their birthright, and to know that their sacrifice and courage paved the way for progress. Sacrifice is not a terrible thing. No. We may not know what tomorrow may bring, but we will not suffer like this. We are the sum total brilliant image of God, and God is the source of all things good and worthy. And if anything tries to rise up against our work, we will not back down, we will not retreat, we will show them God and what it means to be afraid. Join me, my beloved children. As one family under the vast sky and the boundless seas, lift each other up, support one another's dreams, stand together against the tides of injustice that seek to divide you. It is through unity that you will find your strength, your resilience, and the power to shape your destiny. Be proud of your heritage, your culture, and your history, for they are as rich and as deep as the ocean itself. Yes, some of your ancestors are here with me in the city of bones. We must celebrate their achievements, your achievements, both big and small, and let your voices be heard, for they are a true testament to your indomitable spirit. And in the face of adversity, allow your love for one another and your determination to create a just and equitable future guide your actions. Together you can heal the wounds of the past, dismantle the systems of injustice and oppression, and build a world where all of your children can thrive. My love for you, my beloved children, is as boundless as the ocean's depths. We must work together to create waves of change that can reshape the world for future generations to come. May the currents of unity and justice guide you to the shores of a brighter tomorrow.
This is a tale of what turns a man into a monster, and what turns that monster into a martyr. In the shadow of untold trauma, the secret art of how to unfold karma is a divine unknown drama, true and living. We're just trying to make black history, but it's like they're trying to make blacks history. It won't even write a eulogy for you and me. Misery loves company, but the company loves misery. The company will co-op our story and sell our suffering in HD, our tragedy seen more vividly. Obviously, we must be NSFW. They don't want to pay you but peddle you, or just petty cash to settle you. That's why it's hard to employ me, but even harder to ignore me. The irony isn't lost on me, how they made slaves of the masses of ceremonies. Ha, clever, me, never.